She came to see her grandchildren and took my husband. When blood betrays, they say home is where your heart rests. For me, it was where it broke. Morning light used to spill gently through our kitchen windows in our quiet Johannesburg suburb. The lawns were always trimmed, the children's laughter always louder than the birds. From the outside, we looked like a family blessed beyond measure, and I believed we were. My name is Noku. I was married to a man I thought God had handcrafted just for me. Nkosi was patient, steady, warm. He helped with homework. He cooked beside me on Sundays. He kissed my forehead before bed and prayed over our children. 3 beautiful children, a house filled with peace, a marriage that felt unshakable until my mother came to visit. She said she missed her grandchildren, said village life was lonely, said she needed a few weeks with family. I welcomed her with open arms. The children ran to her shouting, "Go, go! Go, go!" Nkosi carried her bags inside respectfully. She smiled at us with pride, with warmth, with something I could not yet name. Back home, she had left her own husband waiting, a quiet man who trusted she would return. The first week felt normal. She helped with cooking, she braided our daughter's hair, she told stories in the evenings, but then I began to notice the way she watched us. When Nkosi and I laughed in the kitchen, her smile would fade just slightly. When he reached for my hand at the table, her eyes lingered too long. When the children hugged us both, something hardened behind her expression. Jealousy does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives dressed as longing. One afternoon, I found her in the kitchen wearing clothes I had never seen her wear before, tighter, shorter, unfamiliar. Nkosi walked in, surprised. She laughed too freely, touched his arm too easily. It unsettled me. "Mama," I said gently later that night, "please, your dressing makes me uncomfortable." She laughed it off, said the weather was hot, said I was overthinking. I tried to ignore the discomfort tightening in my chest. I even involved family elders, hoping wisdom would correct whatever spirit was shifting inside her. She promised to behave. She smiled during the family discussion, but promises are sometimes rehearsed lies. The day everything changed was quiet. The children were at school, I was at work. Nkosi came home early, exhausted from meetings. He went straight to our bedroom to shower. The house was still. Steam filled the bathroom. Then the door opened. She walked in holding a towel. Nkosi told me later he was shocked, that he told her to leave, that he said it was inappropriate. She claimed the other showers were not working properly. She blocked the doorway. That was the beginning. Whether it was weakness, confusion, temptation, I may never fully know. But after that day, something between them shifted. Nkosi still laughed at dinner. He still played with the children. He still lay beside me at night, but there was distance in his eyes. Weeks became months. Behind closed doors, in whispered corridors and stolen moments, my husband and my mother began living a life that did not include me. I found out by accident. I came home early one afternoon. The house was too quiet. No television, no footsteps, just silence thick enough to suffocate. Our bedroom door was slightly open. I pushed it. There are images that burn into your memory forever. Nkosi jumped up, startled. My mother sat on the edge of my bed, adjusting her clothes with no shame on her face. My voice trembled. "Mama, please leave my house." She stood slowly and said one word. "No." Something inside me cracked beyond repair. After that day, secrecy disappeared. They sat together openly. They whispered in corners without lowering their voices. Nkosi stopped pretending. Respect evaporated like water on hot stone. My home, the place I had built with prayer and patience, turned hostile. I became invisible in my own kitchen. The children sensed the tension. They asked questions I could not answer without breaking them. One night, after another silent dinner, I looked at my reflection and did not recognize the woman staring back at me. So I packed. I folded the children's clothes with shaking hands. I held them tightly while they cried. Nkosi watched from the doorway, silent, unmoved. My mother stood behind him as though she belonged there. He did not stop me. He did not choose me. He chose her. I drove away from the house that once held my dreams. Every street felt heavier than the last. We moved into a small apartment. It was not the life I imagined, but it was mine. It was honest. I helped my children with homework at a small kitchen table. I learned to smile through pain. I learned to rebuild from ashes. They continued living together, mother and son-in-law, betrayal wrapped in blood. Sometimes the deepest wounds are not inflicted by